Hi, we are Victor and Nicholas, and in this video, we are going to talk you about our thoughts of the school of the future. First, I am going to talk you about the architecture of the schools in the future. In this case, we thought that because of the new technological improvements, the classrooms will have technological devices that will help with the process of learning of the students. For example, some practical classes will be developed through virtual reality technologies. This type of technologies will make the classes more visual and less theoretical, because this will let the students to have more realistic interactions with the knowledge. Furthermore, it would let them to put in practice that knowledge acquired in previous classes. Also, all schools will have educational software support that will help with the interaction between the teacher and the students, and furthermore, with other students. Additionally, we thought that the classrooms will have a similar distribution as a Montessori classroom nowadays. This is because we expect that the students will have the opportunity to interact with their environment in a free way. Additionally, this type of distribution will give the chance to students to interact with other students to build up knowledge. That last part leads me to the next point, and it is the school environment. We thought that the interaction of the students with teachers would be like the thoughts proposed by Montessori. With that, I mean that the teacher will have the role of a guide that will give theoretical and practical classes to students. But in this case, the feedback that the teacher will make is a direct correction of mistakes that each student have in each activity. But he or she will guide the student to the right answer. And in that process, the teacher will give the chance to the student to repeat the activity, to make more questions that the student will have of the activity, and also to consolidate the knowledge acquired. On the other hand, the student will have the opportunity to interact with other students and the environment. This type of interactions will let the student to acquire knowledge in a collective way. Through this way, the students will have the opportunity to do different group tasks that let them to build up knowledge. They also will have the opportunity to do co-evaluation processes to acquire more knowledge. They will have the opportunity to ask other students the way to solve problems, but also to give idea to solve the same problem. In this case, to give students other vision to see problems and their solutions. All these interactions will go hand in hand with technology, and students will have the chance to interact with technology to solve problems.
As for learning and teaching methods, this will inevitably require a much more technological complement. Technology is advancing, and the world must adapt to it. Elements such as virtuality and artificial intelligence will have to take much more active and complementary role with the face-to-face activity, as there will be a large number of tools that allow for the monitoring of students and teachers around the improvement of the practice of each one. Additionally, teaching should be oriented towards a much more practical sense in relation to the personal and social environment in which one lives, a situation that is not currently done. This so that from an early age students begin to understand and put into practice their skills with society, which will allow them to be more productive and aware of the importance of their learning. All this will have a much more autonomous and individual scope than at present, because it will be really important to exploit the individual capacities that each student has. Unfortunately, this cannot be done with an entirely general and not at all personal education as we have today. Evaluation methods will be something that must change to how they are currently done. It is no secret that most current methods do not really evaluate whether or not a subject has been learned, since in many cases the evaluation is whether the subject was memorized. Additionally, regular grades, as we know them today, will have a similar change, where the learning of a subject is not characterized numerically, as it tends not to really reflect what the student has learned. Instead, there should be a shift to perhaps a more qualitative type of assessments that actually allows the students to identify his or her mistakes in understanding the subject and not in procedure as is currently the case. Similarly, evaluation should be more practical than theoretical, since based on projects with different difficulties according to age range or different real orientations of a subject. It can be better assessed whether a student has understood a subject or not. This does not rule out the theoretical, because the practical and the theoretical must be used as mutual complements. It cannot be evaluated based on only one of them. Thank you so much for your attention.